All Renegades of Puck to the trenches. Renegades of Puck TV is on the air. It's time for the briefing. The next opponent for the Nashville Predators, the New York Rangers. The Nashville Predators have now played 3 games on this homestand and 3 games on the season. They have a record of 1-2. They have 2 points. That sets them 4 points back of first place Minnesota at 6 points. Minnesota, by the way, will be one of the Nashville Predators' upcoming opponents on their first road trip this weekend. The Preds on home ice are 1-2. They've scored 7 goals for, and they've given up 8 against on the season. They got their first victory over the Los Angeles Kings just the other night. We hope you were checking out the full recap and debriefing. All of the Renegades of Puck were in the trenches talking all about that big win for the Nashville Predators. Now, an opportunity to get the split and go 2-2 on the 4-game homestand and open up the season before heading out this Saturday to face off against Winnipeg and then turn around the next day and go to Sunday in Minnesota. And then Tuesday versus San Jose, the 30th of October to close out the month versus the New York Islanders here at Bridgestone Arena. And then the 2nd of November, the Nashville Predators make their first trip of the year to Calgary to face off against the Flames. I am your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Sonia. Welcome into the bunker. This is Renegades of Puck TV. It's the essence of no half-stepping. You know by now we've been at it since the opening night of the season, and we're here doing briefings before each and every game. And after each and every game, we are doing debriefings. That's how you get your previews and you get your recaps, and we do that all right here from the bunker and with the Renegades of Puck on Renegades of Puck TV. Remember, renegadesofpuck.com is exactly how you can find everything you need to know about the Renegades of Puck and Renegades of Puck TV. You should subscribe to the YouTube channel where you're watching this video right now. Also follow us on Twitter at Renegades of Puck. Give us a like on Facebook and on Twitch, where we give you the behind-the-scenes raw look. You get the footage there long before anybody else. So if you're following us on Twitch, all one word, at Renegades of Puck, you'll be getting the briefings and the debriefings sooner than everybody else. It's a different perspective. It's a different look, and it gives you, the Renegades of Puck, an opportunity to see what it is that we do. So you can join us live on Twitch, or you can join us a little bit later on in the fully edited versions of Renegades of Puck TV, which also, of course, features each and every one of the Renegades of Puck. You also need to be dialing into the Renegades of Puck grievance line, 615-640-0916. That's 615-640-0916. We want to hear from you. Good, bad, ugly, doesn't make a difference. Totally anonymous, and therefore you to vent and give us your thoughts. How many times are you actually asked for your opinion and your thoughts? Typically, you're just told what to think and given bullet points. Now's your opportunity to contribute not only just to the show, but to the Renegades of Puck overall, period. Make the show better by contributing to the Renegades of Puck grievance line. Yes, we call it a grievance line because we enjoy that and it's fun, but really it's just a way for you to leave a voicemail and leave a message for us here. We'll use the best audio right here on Renegades of Puck TV. Before we get into the full preview of the Nashville Predators and the New York Rangers, I want to go and talk about something that happened today. The Stadium Series is upcoming for the Nashville Predators, and we've talked about this at great length here on this show over the years, how the Nashville Predators would not be able to host the Winter Classic here in Nashville at the Titans Stadium because of its obligations not only to the NFL and the Titans, but also to the Music City Bowl, which typically is on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. That date fluxes from time to time, but it is always in that time frame. Therefore, you cannot build a hockey rink and have the Winter Classic right there. So the next best thing, and the thing that we always knew would come to Nashville someday, is the Stadium Series. And that is going to take place between the Preds and the Lightning on the 26th of February. That is in 2022. It sounds like science fiction numbers, but it's only a few months away. Sean C. Smith from OnTheForecheck.com and, of course, from Renegades of Puck TV, he had an opportunity to go over to Nissan Stadium today and talk to all of the important people involved with the Stadium Series, and he's got a report and a presentation for you right now. So from OnTheForecheck.com, you can find him on Twitter at SCSOTF. Sean C. Smith, take it away. Let me know all about the Stadium Series.
Thanks, Charlie. What's up, Renegades? It's Sean C. Smith here with you. Going to talk to you a little bit today about the Stadium Series that's coming up this February between the Nashville Predators and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Today, out at Nissan Stadium, the Nashville Predators, Tampa Bay Lightning, people from the Titans organization, the mayor of Nashville, even the NHL commissioner, Gary Bettman, showed up to talk about the Stadium Series. And let me tell you, it's going to be exciting. First, I'm going to say this. They did not release the sweaters. And I know that's what most people were asking me about online, But unfortunately, that wasn't a part of the plan today, was for us to see what those limited edition, special edition Stadium Series sweaters are going to look like. Everyone's excited about it. I know I am. I can't wait. I really loved, and a lot of the players talked about how much they love the jerseys from the Winter Classic. So I know these jerseys are going to be awesome as well. Can't wait to see them. But today was more about hyping the event, and really it seemed more like a giant love letter to Nashville, where people talked about how great Nashville was at hosting big events. So what I've got for you today is a little bit of video from NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman and from Predators CEO Sean Henry talking about Nashville's ability to host these big events that they've been able to host over the past few years, and what a great job they've done with them.
But what we have here as well, and it's a term that I have rejected and really don't like even repeating, too non-traditional. I don't even understand what that means anymore, because Tampa and Nashville are as traditional as any hockey market. So these two teams have helped to obliterate that term. These are great organizations with great fan bases, and they really lead the way in terms of community involvement, fan engagement, and game presentation. So having these two teams, we think, is going to make the Stadium Series game really special.
Roman talked about the great parties we throw, and why is that? Smashville is powered by our fans. We have the most unique bond with our fans of any sports town in the country, without exception. Our fans save the team. Our owners are all day one season ticket holders. The combination of those two groups coming together has formed Smashville. And what are we known for? Non-traditional hockey. And I disagree with the commissioner on one thing. I love that Tampa's non-traditional. I love that we're non-traditional, because the traditional teams kind of wish they were non-traditional now, because we're doing hockey right. And we're doing it because our fans demand it. It's just a fun place to be. As the commissioner said, the NHL draft in 2003, the All-Star game in 2016 allowed all of us to showcase Nashville, Smashville, the state, the community, and our game to the world in a slightly different way. And it worked so well. I love going to other events where I hear people say, what a great All-Star game. But do you remember Nashville? And now we're going to be able to do that again. We did it with the Stanley Cup in 2017. The Titans did it with the city, combination with the CBC, the Chamber of Commerce, the Sports Council, Downtown Partnership, by redefining what the NFL draft could be. And we're going to do it again with the Navy Federal Credit Union Smashville Spectacular. So yeah, Gary, we're changing the name. It's not a Stadium Series anymore. It's a Smashville Spectacular. And we're excited about it. Today is the first day of our public launch of the crescendo that will take us through February, and it's going to be amazing. It's not a one-day affair. As Roman said, it's going to be a week-long party. It's going to be awesome, and I cannot wait till we do last call at a honky tonk Sunday night in the last weekend of February and celebrate all the work by so many, because once again, we're going to be able to change how things are celebrated for our league and our great game, and once again, showcase our community to the world stage. So thank you for being here. Thank you guys all for being here. And to really put this show on, it's so much fun to be able to partner with our friends at the Titans and some old friends with the Tampa Bay Lightning. And we're going to do something that people haven't seen in a long time. So thanks for being here. And go Preds and go Smashville Spectacular. Thank you.
All right. Well, it sounds like the Smashville Spectacular and the party that goes along with it is going to be crazy. And that's exactly what they talked about the rest of the day. Everybody referred back to the idea that Yossi started with, that Nashville knows how to party. It's a 24-hour party when you're here. And it seems like that's going to be the plan for this Stadium Series, or the Smashville Spectacular, as Sean Henry started calling it. And it seems like that may take off a little bit if you paid attention to social media today. Now, the other interesting thing was they asked a lot of the players that were there, and the players that were there for the Predators were Roman Josi and Matias Ekholm. The Lightning sent Victor Hedman and Ryan McDonough there, and they were asked about whether or not this was going to be a rivalry game. And it seemed like both teams shied away from calling it a rivalry, although they did say they enjoyed playing against each other 8 times last year. However, Matias Ekholm had some very interesting things to say after he dismissed the idea that there was a rivalry between Tampa Bay and Nashville. Check it out.
That's maybe a stretch, but if it was Carolina here, it would definitely. I mean, we play them. It seems like every game now, but no, we played them a lot. We saw them a lot more at least last year, so we know them. We're more familiar with them, obviously, than they are with us. But rivalry, maybe a bit of a stretch.
Well, Preds fans, it seems like all of the jawing and all of the back and forth between all of those meetings between the Nashville Predators and the Carolina Hurricanes have worked themselves into a rivalry. And now I don't know if that's exactly the rivalry that anybody wants, but that seems like the best going rivalry the Predators have right now. So with this kind of elevation in that language that Ekholm's using there, it seems like all of the barbs back and forth between the two teams' social media channels definitely has some backing behind the players. So it looks like anytime we see those teams meet up on ice this year, there's going to be fireworks, and I personally can't wait to see it. And if the way Tanner Jeannot's been blowing people up on the ice like he did with Drew Doughty, then I think it's going to be a very interesting game anytime they get together. Charlie, I'm going to send it back over to you.
Thank you so much, Sean C. Smith. I cannot wait. The Renegades of Puck are planning some huge events around the Stadium Series. Maybe one day, Sean, we'll be previewing a Winter Classic at Neyland Stadium when they do the Battle of I-40 between the Carolina Hurricanes and the Nashville Predators, and over 100,000 screaming hockey maniacs get their opportunity to go see the Winter Classic here in the state of Tennessee and not have to travel, as we all did, down to Dallas to the Cotton Bowl. And that in itself was a tremendous event and a tremendous showing, and another reason why the Nashville Predators are getting to host another high-profile event. The Preds have delivered the goods in this category since their beginnings. When you go all the way back, you can look at the draft, how many people showed up for that, how popular it was. All-Star Weekend was, of course, a smash success. When the Nashville Predators made it to the Stanley Cup Final, the city came out, and we showed out here in Nashville, and everybody now wants to be a part of the Nashville hockey scene, and that's why it's so important for you to be in the trenches with us here on Renegades of Puck TV. There's no doubt the Nashville Predators are going to continue to get opportunities to be involved in high-profile events, and playing against the Tampa Bay Lightning just on the other side of the Cumberland River from their home at Bridgestone Arena is going to be incredible. I just hope it's good weather. I don't want to start thinking about that right now, but I sure hope it's going to be great weather that day, because Nashville, you sure do look beautiful on a sunny Sunday here in the winter time. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the next game for the Nashville Predators. Coming off that victory against the LA Kings, the Preds have an opportunity to take a deep breath and now go for their second consecutive victory, one over the LA Kings, and now an opportunity to beat the New York Rangers before heading off on their first road trip of the season, Saturday in Winnipeg and Sunday in Minnesota. This is the first of two matchups this season against the New York Rangers. The second one will come at Madison Square Garden on December the 12th. Now, for the Nashville Predators, taking a look inside some of their numbers, their goal is for 2.33 per game. That is simply not enough. That's not going to get you enough victories, even if you play a really tight defensive style. Right now, it ranks 23rd in the league after just a very, very small sample size. Goals against at 2.67 is 16th in the NHL. Shots for Nashville Predators generating right here, 33.7. That's good for 11th. And shots against, only giving up 28 per game. That is 6th best in the NHL. On special teams, the Nashville Predators are performing better than they certainly did to start last season. On the power play, converting at 25%. That means 2 of 8, 11th best in the NHL at this time. And the penalty kill, 6 out of 8 kills so far, and a really strong 4 minutes of penalty killing against the LA Kings. It's ranked 20th in the league, but converting at 75%. I think we can all be very happy with what we're seeing in the quick development of this penalty kill unit this season. Flipping over to the New York Rangers and looking at their numbers, their goals for 2, that is 27th in the NHL. Their goals against at 2.50 is 12th best in the NHL. Shots for, they're only generating 26 shots on nets per game. That is near the bottom of the league. Shots against, giving up 31.5. That is 17th in the NHL. Their power play is 2 out of 16 for 12.5%, and their penalty kill is 10 out of 14. They've given up 4 power play goals against at this point in this season. The New York Rangers hold a record of 2-1-1, have 5 points, are second in the Metro Division. They're even 2-1 on the road, but those NHL rankings and numbers do not make it seem like the New York Rangers are all that much of a threat. But yes, they are, and they are a roller coaster ride of a team to play against. Take a look at some of the most recent results for the New York Rangers. On the 13th, they opened up a season with a 5-1 loss at Washington. Then they followed that up the next night with a 3-2 overtime loss versus the Dallas Stars on home ice, the only game that they have had at home so far this season. On the 16th of October, is a 3-1 win at Montreal, and then a 2-1 overtime win at at Toronto. And if you have not gone back and seen that overtime session between the New York Rangers and the Toronto Maple Leafs, you absolutely need to go check it out. Make that your homework before watching this next game for the Nashville Predators against the New York Rangers. The Rangers won't skate again until Saturday at Ottawa. By the way, in that overtime win, it was Shesterkin going 40 out of 41 and picking up the victory in that overtime for the New York Rangers.
The New York Rangers are the latest opponent to come to Bridgestone Arena on this homestand. The Predators got back on track Tuesday night against the Los Angeles Kings, but how will they fare against the 2-1-1 New York Rangers? Today's one big stat will look at one possible way. Shot quality. You've heard me mention it before countless times. Simply put, it's a measure of how dangerous any given shot is and what the probability is of it becoming a goal. Neither Nashville or New York, unfortunately, excel at creating quality shots on offense, with both teams sitting in the bottom half of the NHL. However, Nashville has excelled this season at limiting opponent shot quality on defense. The Predators sit at second in the NHL at 5-on-5 in opponent shot quality, while the Rangers sit in the middle of the pack at 16th. Nashville will have to continue to play good defense and hope a combination of UC Saros goaltending and goal support by the offense can deliver the win tonight, and that's today's one big stat.
In recent years, this was always such a huge goaltending matchup between, of course, the king, Henrik Lundqvist for the New York Rangers, and the living legend, Pekka Rinne, for the Nashville Predators. Both of those respective legends for their franchises have now moved on and are no longer a part of the NHL. So Shesterkin versus Saros might not sound like the most incredible goaltending matchup once you are used to the previous names, but I'm telling you, these two young goaltenders, they are the future of the NHL, and they are going to be battling against each other for many, many years to come near the top of a lot of statistical categories. I'm very excited to see this goaltending matchup. I can't wait to have Nostradamus break this all down for us on the debriefing after this game. So for the New York Rangers coming on in here, yet another road game before heading off to Ottawa for the Nashville Predators, wrapping up a 4-game homestand. And of course, Olivier still on IR and Riddick still out on the COVID list as the backup goaltender for the Nashville Predators. Just a couple of other NHL notes. Winnipeg captain Blake Wheeler is going to be out for the next 4 games on the COVID list. And for the Nashville Predators, they will be playing in Winnipeg on Saturday. So they will be without their captain. We know that long before going into the briefing. And Evander Kane from San Jose has received a 21-game suspension. I know that this news came down a day or so ago. I haven't had a chance to react to it, and frankly, I'm tired of talking about Evander Kane, and the NHL should be tired of everything involving Evander Kane. There are so many brilliant, talented, wonderful, amazing hockey players out there on this planet Earth, all across the world, and Evander Kane is simply not one of them. You all know, you've read all of the stories, you've read all of the allegations, and you've seen all of the investigations into this one player. For all of the players across the landscape of professional hockey right now, you don't seem to hear about a whole lot of investigations, allegations, and all of the things that are going on. Passing a fake COVID card, gambling allegations, all of the stuff that's gone on with his family, his wife, his children. It's simply the NHL needs to move on from a player like this. That's what I am saying. I am saying, Evander Kane, you may be talented, you may have made generational money, but right now the NHL could do a lot better than putting you out there on the ice. Even with this 21-game suspension, you'll learn absolutely nothing. You'll be right back to exactly what you were doing before. Before we head on out from the briefing, let me tell you who's on the ice tonight. Carolina is at Montreal. San Jose is at Ottawa. Colorado is at Florida. Washington is at New Jersey. The New York Islanders are taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets. Calgary and Detroit. Anaheim at Winnipeg. Vancouver at Chicago. Edmonton at Arizona. I'll have updated scores on all of these games during the debriefing. We hope you're staying up late and checking us out post-game as you're getting home from the game. Make sure you double-check. Those links are getting posted earlier and earlier every night here on Renegades of Puck TV. The grievance line, it's there. Make sure you're leaving us voicemails and make sure you're supporting our tremendous partners right here. I can't thank Rebirth Sports enough for making me look good, Strong Style Fit for making me feel good, and Stripe Design Digital Solutions for making everything work here in the bunker and for Renegades of Puck TV. Remember, follow us on all of those social media platforms. Get us on Twitter at Renegades of Puck. Give us a like on Facebook and, of course, Twitch right now. I'll go ahead and look at that camera. Twitch right there. Go ahead, at Renegades of Puck. You get the briefing, you get the debriefing live, you get to look behind the scenes, you get to see all the mistakes, the flubs, and you get to see it before it gets edited right there on Twitch. So catch our live stream. It's just a different presentation. Renegades of Puck TV is a unique presentation, and we want to give you different angles, different perspectives, and different ways of looking at things, and we're not just going to cover one team in one town. That's just how we're getting started. We're going to branch out from here. That's why we need you as correspondents. renegadesofpuck@gmail.com. That's how you get in touch with us. If you want to tell us your hockey story, you happen to play for a beer league team, and you shoot some video of a great shootout win, go ahead and send that over to us. Give us some details. Tell us what the story is. We will report on it right here on Renegades of Puck TV. We're here to celebrate hockey as a culture. We will work in Nashville because that is where we are based. Independent hockey coverage covering the Nashville Predators and every level of hockey across Middle Tennessee. But from there, we want to branch out. So we want to hear from you. renegadesofpuck@gmail.com, and make sure you are checking out our sponsors. And please keep checking out those links. Keep sharing, keep liking, keep subscribing, keep doing all that stuff. And again, thanks to OnTheForecheck.com and On The Forecheck Pod for having me on as a guest. It sure was fantastic to be on with Sean and Nick the other night. I look forward to making more appearances with those guys soon.
You know, they say in the South, you got to slow down. Enjoy the pace of life. Take your time. Don't do things so fast. Smell the roses. And everything ages like a fine bourbon in a Kentucky barrel. We don't do things as quick and as fast-paced as they do up there in the big city. So I want to take an invitation tonight and let the Rangers and the Rangers fans know, slow down. Enjoy the city. Maybe get yourself a nice glass of some of our best. And never mind the dog. That's just old Banner. He's out protecting the woodshed, making sure there's a large open space inside for us to take you out there and beat you in it. Banner's excited. Are you? It's game day, baby. Let's go, Preds.
Stick taps, love, and respect, everybody. I'm your host and Captain Crazy Charlie Sunday. That'll wrap up today's briefing of the Nashville Predators and the New York Rangers. Everybody dismissed. I'll see you for the debriefing right after the game.